Hey everyone, Scott Johanek here, your Madison area realtor, and today I'm going to talk about the top 5 things you need to think about before you buy a condo. Alright, the first thing you need to think about before you buy a condo is the financeability of it currently and the future financeability of it. And I know that's probably not a word, but the unique thing about condos, let's say that a condo association has 100 condos in it. Per Fannie guidelines, only 20%, so 20 condos can be rented out in order to get a conventional loan through like a bank and a credit union. And through Freddie, their guidelines are a little bit looser where they allow up to 25% rentals. So before you start diving into condos, you'll need to make sure and understand how many of them are currently rented. So let's say that there are 23 condos currently rented. So you can finance it through Freddie because they allow up to 25%, and you can get that on a conventional loan. And the thing you need to think about is in the future, let's say that one company is buying up a bunch of condos in that association and renting them all out. Well, in the next couple of years, 3 or 5 years down the road when you want to sell your condo, if they bought 2 or 3 extra condos, now your condo become what's called a non-warrantable condo, meaning that it can't be financed through a conventional loan because it doesn't meet Fannie or Freddie guidelines. So that way, a lot of times if you're looking at condos, and sometimes you'll see that it is a non-warrantable condo, that means you can't finance it through a conventional loan. It needs to either be a cash purchase or it needs to be purchased through a portfolio loan. So the next thing you need to think about when buying a condo is the health of the association. Because when you're buying a condo, you're essentially buying into a business and you want it to be healthy, right? Is the association run properly? Do they take good notes? Do they have regular meetings? Is there a good reserve budget in case anything breaks to take care of those items? Is it ran professionally by a professional management company, or is it just ran by people that live there in the association? So this is another thing that you really need to consider is what is the overall health of that association? The next thing you need to think about is any future assessments or current assessments that are on the property. So an assessment is essentially one that the association can't pay financially the full obligation of the bill, so they go and assess it or give a small bill to each of the condo association owners. So let's say that they are going to replace the roof in 2 years and there's only a $100,000 reserve currently and the roof repair is $500,000. Well, that extra portion of the bill is going to go and get assessed to the condo owners. So you want to make sure that if you move in, in a year or two down the road, you're not going to get hit with a $5,000 or $7,000 bill for something that you weren't expecting. The next thing to think about is the rules and regulations of the association. And this one's really important, essentially for pet owners. Different associations are different. How many animals do they allow? Do they allow animals at all? Is there a weight on, a dog or number of cats and things like that? So is there any unique things that you may need that the association won't allow? So you'd hate to move in and think that they allow pets or a certain size dog, and then you bring your friend Fido in there and then he's not allowed. You don't want to have that happen. So make sure you understand all the rules and regulations of that association. The last thing you need to think about before buying a condo is the condo fees for that association. What do they cover and what do they not cover? Most associations are similar that your association fee, pays for lawn care and snow removal and things like that. But then there's different variances of like internet, water, electricity, heating, cooling, things like that that may or may not be included in your condo fee. So sometimes you may see a higher condo fee and you're like, oh, that's really high, but it includes a lot of things versus a lower one that doesn't include anything. So really consider what do those condo fees take care of, and then also from a maintenance standpoint. When you're paying those fees, typically in an association, you're responsible for what's called drywall and in. Now, usually the gray zone is the windows. A lot of associations, you're responsible for the windows and they're responsible for the exterior. So think about things like that for that specific condo association. What do your fees cover and what do they not cover? All right, those are my top 5 things you need to think about before buying a condo. And if this condo is your first home purchase, make sure to check out my home buying webinar and all the other great tips and tricks and information I have out there on my social media pages. Till next time, take care.